They feel like you have just killed their firstborn because you will not tell them the brand of the skirt that you are wearing.
Alexis Sunshine 83, it's always sunny here. Boop.
Hey Sunshiners, Alexis Sunshine 83 right here. Today I'm feeling a little spicy, and so I wanted to do another reacting to your fashion unpopular opinions / hot takes, and I'd done this type of video a couple of months ago and it was a great time, and I loved seeing, you know, different opinions about fashion, ones that I agree with, ones that I don't agree with, also to get your opinion and commentary about all of the kind of hot takes I had talked about. So I asked on my Instagram again for your fashion unpopular opinions. I also have some of my own that I'm going to include in this video as well. So let's just get into it, which first, please take this whole video with a grain of salt. These are just my opinions, and if you don't agree with it, that is totally okay. If you don't agree with the other person's opinion, that is totally okay. It is not that serious. It's just fashion. Wear whatever makes you happy, and yeah. The first fashion unpopular opinion is something that I got a couple of times, and also something that I personally have talked about, which is skinny jeans still have a place in your wardrobe. And I also got that jean styles shouldn't be trends, it should be about personal preference, and I agree 100%. It is insane the absolute roasting that skinny jeans have had the past couple of years. Heck, I personally contributed to the skinny jean roasting, and the thing is, trends will come back. Skinny jeans weren't even like an original thing in like the 2000s, 2010s. They had already existed kind of years prior, and they were being recycled as a trend, and we know that then that will happen again, and all it takes is for one of the it girls to wear skinny jeans and they will be trendy again. I mean, heck, Bella Hadid had people wearing just underwear as fashion. Anything is possible. The thing that I find really frustrating is when other people deem if you wear this certain item of clothing, you are not fashionable. And I have seen so many TikToks talking about skinny jeans, saying that if you wear skinny jeans, you're not fashionable and like you shouldn't be wearing them and that they are ugly. I've seen so many that were like, I didn't have fashion before because I was wearing skinny jeans, and now I'm wearing these types of jeans, the, you know, whatever the trendy jeans are right now, and now I'm fashionable. But when you wore skinny jeans, you also thought that you were really fashionable. But also, maybe you just don't like skinny jeans, and that is totally okay, but that is your preference on your personal body, whereas on somebody else, it may make them feel super confident and super happy, and to be like, no, no, no. I do acknowledge the kind of challenge and just like difficulty and maybe just bad memories of trying to pull up like super tight skinny jeans, especially in the summer. I wore black super tight skinny jeans every single day to school, and it was awful. So I understand having that like association with them, but it doesn't make them as like a jean style terrible for everyone. I'm sure you've seen on TikTok and Instagram the whole wearing versus styling videos. The first outfit is just plain, it's like a top and jeans, and then the styling part, maybe the person added a scarf, a hat, shoes. This unpopular opinion is most of this wearing versus styling videos are kind of fake because they don't work in real life, and I'm a little conflicted because I do think this type of concept does help people that maybe have clothes that they have owned for a while and they're wanting to kind of you spruce it up a little bit, and a great way to do that is accessorizing. I feel accessorizing is very powerful. I personally am not the best accessorizer, which is why I have not partake in this. I just don't feel like I have the like inventory yet of accessories. The people that are doing these types of videos in most cases just own so many different accessories and so many different colors, to where I do understand how it does seem like it wouldn't work in real life, because The influencers obviously have a reason for owning those many accessories and clothing in general, whereas the non-influencer wouldn't own that many type of like variety of accessories. And I think even more so, what I was just saying, seeing all the accessories that people have made me kind of feel like I didn't have enough. I do think Lainey Ozark recently with her video where she kind of did this concept, did a great job at making it really realistic. Taking things that I feel a lot of people already own and kind of just showing the difference between kind of the before versus the after. Somebody that I also think does an amazing job at accessorizing. Like, my gosh, she is like the accessorizing god. She has taken many, many years of collecting and just finding, and that is Katie from Steal the Spotlight. I think she also shows that not only, you know, necklaces and shoes and scarves and that type of thing, but also just additional like pins or things to put over like a skirt or a dress. I don't know. She just takes it onto an entirely other level. I get inspiration from her, how I can implement then the stuff that I own as accessories to maybe do something slightly similar, but not necessarily like a complete copy because I don't own those pieces. But I think in general, just thinking outside of the box when you feel like there's something missing from your outfit. Brands are using sheer clothing trends as an excuse to be lazy and not line clothing. This is one of the reasons why I feel like I've kind of changed a little bit of my opinion on the sheer clothing trend, because now I just feel similar to this comment, brands are just using it as a way to be cheap, and it makes the item honestly more unwearable. I think sheer clothing can definitely be honestly its own accessory in a way and a really great topper for an outfit, but when everything is just sheer, it's like, okay, come on. Really cheap clothing a lot of times is very see-through, and that's what makes it quite unwearable sometimes, or just a little bit, you know, more difficult. You have to have certain lining or, you know, like nude undergarments, that kind of thing, or not, like that's totally all good as well. But now I think even more so, they're really leaning into that where it's like, oh, well now we really don't have to, you know, try as hard. The whole get your colors analyzed thing is not going to help stop trending colors. The color analysis is something that I also feel kind of conflicted about, because I think the actual idea of it can be really helpful, especially if you are someone that is just finding that you're buying items and the colors just aren't looking how you thought that they would look on you. So it could be really helpful to have the ability to literally try every single shade and every single opacity, you know, undertone with a color analysis specialist. Although with a lot of the color analysis videos I've seen, the person has said, you know, this specific shade is not your color, like it's not gonna make you look the best, and that is the creator's like favorite color, and when they put it on, they think that they look amazing. And I think it's awesome when the color analysis will give a disclaimer of like, this is not like set in stone. This is just a guideline and you can follow it or you cannot follow it, and it doesn't have to be super strict. But I think people do take it very, very strict. When it first became a trending topic on YouTube, it was kind of going in the sustainability lens where it's like, oh, you aren't gonna be influenced to buy something if it's, you know, if it's not in your color, then you're not gonna buy it. I definitely get having, you know, information about what styles you like on yourself, what colors you like on yourself, and if you don't know, I can see how that could be helpful. I will say, I think we have been focusing mainly on the color analysis for clothing. I see the helpfulness mainly with makeup. And to give you an example, a couple of months ago, I was wanting to find a new lip shade and blush shade. I didn't know if the blush shade that I was wearing, I actually liked on myself. And I was, you know, at Sephora trying to, you know, look at different colors. I was even looking on like Pinterest and looking at other videos of people trying different shades of things. And I just didn't know what I felt looked good on me, and all that matters obviously is what I feel looks good on me. But the thing was, I didn't want to buy something in a color that I didn't like on me and actually like didn't look good with my skin tone, undertone, that kind of thing, because then that is waste, especially with beauty products. So I could 100% see doing a color analysis and finding what kind of pinks or reds or purples potentially look the best on me, or even just, again, seeing it for myself and being like, oh, that type of pink with that undertone is my favorite on me. So now I can focus on trying to find a lipstick shade that is like that. The only thing is, at least in Southern California, color analysis costs $500 to $700. I've only seen one place where it's like $250. They're always booked up. And so like, I don't think I will ever get one done. I'm not sure if this person is for or against this, but it says the idea of dressing your age, which I think it means like, I don't like the idea of dressing your age, which I 100% agree. I don't even know how I dress in regards to an age. I personally feel, honestly, like a 25-year-old. I think it's just from when COVID started. I was 25 and I just feel like I've been at a standstill at that age, but I am 29. Thinking about how I thought, obviously as a kid, how a 29-year-old and 30-year-old dress is very different than I think how I dress. But also I think we have been way more open and accepting and pushing back the idea of like having to dress your age, because how is a 30-year-old supposed to dress? How is a 50-year-old supposed to dress? Like, and why does it even matter? I remember as a kid being at the mall with a family member and either wearing something or kind of like holding something up and them being like, oh, like, you're so lucky you can pull that off. You know, you're that age. You can't do that when you're my age. And I think they were like in their 50s. And so I always remembered that it's like, there is a countdown of like what clothing you can wear and then what clothing you can't wear depending on your age. And that's dumb. The pressure that like your life ends at 30. So like, you can't wear fun stuff after 30. You can't wear fashionable stuff. You can't be fashionable. After the age of 30, you now can't have that value at like age 40 in a like rainbow pants or like metallic pants. And I don't know, I can't think of an example. I have too amazing of a clothing collection to stop wearing when I turn a certain age. If my style changes, of course, like that is totally okay as well. I just don't want it to be determined and forced on me based on my age. One of my fashion unpopular opinions is I think influencers should be at Fashion Week. Now, I definitely understand the argument of people saying, you know, it is unfair that people that are influencers that don't really even post about fashion are getting, you know, front row seats next to, say, like Anna Wintour, when people that have poured their life into the fashion industry, their blood, their sweat, their tears, and not having the opportunity anymore because it's going to influencers. Like, I totally get that argument. But I also understand that the fashion industry just wants money. They want an influencer to be there because they know it will then influence their audience, whether or not they do fashion stuff or like get all their, you know, fashion from Pretty Little Thing. The reason why I have this opinion, while also understanding and feeling the same way of like people that don't do fashion stuff being at Fashion Week, is because I technically am an influencer and I would like to go to Fashion Week. So saying that influencers shouldn't be there, I then am like telling myself that I shouldn't be there. Obviously I do make fashion-y stuff, but let me know your thoughts, because I think this one definitely is a hot take. And again, I understand my bias and it's more of a personal thing because I would like to go. Unrelated, but I was supposed to go to New York Fashion Week this year, but I got incredibly sick. Capsule wardrobes are overrated and lack creativity. There have been so many fashion movements that, or I guess that would be a fashion movement, like a capsule wardrobe, especially like the really like intentional and like you're decluttering and creating like a dedicated capsule wardrobe. Underlinings of it were like coming from a good place, but then people just took it to an extreme level and like boxed themselves in, and then it ends up making you go the like completely opposite end. A lot of times capsule wardrobes that people show, or like the dream capsule wardrobe, especially on Pinterest, it's neutral and kind of, I don't want to say boring because I don't think neutrals are boring, but it's very just it focuses, I think, on the traditional idea of like what a timeless piece should be, which is like black and white, navy, tan, cream. And I get then those being able to be worn, you know, as years go by. They don't necessarily go in and out of style, focusing on, you know, what items are you gonna rewear, how to, I think there's a magic of like finding a way to take one piece and style it like 10 ways. Lucy Moon had made a video recently of why she stopped doing a capsule wardrobe, and a lot of it was just kind of that strict, like rigid rules that she felt like she had to put on herself and what she saw other people do in regards to a capsule wardrobe. At least for me and for a lot of people, for some people it totally works to kind of have those rules and be a little bit more boxed in with their wardrobe, and that totally works for them and they're super happy. But I think maybe if you're wanting to get into a capsule wardrobe, just not having as like strict rules and having it be more open, not feeling like it has to be a certain number of pieces. There's things from it that we can take, but we don't need to follow it to a T. At least, again, for me, sticking to rules like that, just, they don't make me happy. Some styles of clothes only look good on conventionally hot people. I don't agree. If we weren't brainwashed into thinking that there was, you know, the right way of how your body is supposed to look and then what you can and can't wear, I don't think we would think twice about an item looking on, you know, a multitude of different body types. We would think that was all great. An example is low-rise jeans. If we hadn't only seen low-rise jeans one way in the early 2000s, don't think we would have ever thought that, oh, I don't have a flat stomach, I can't wear those. If we didn't have that stuff told to us, then we would think nothing of it. I love how so many people are kind of taking back the power with low-rise jeans and being like, hey, I don't have a flat stomach and I'm still beautiful and it looks hot on me. I think this is a deeper conversation for sure that I feel like personally I can't go super deep into, but I will leave Jessica's videos down below, who kind of went into the history of plus size fashion and the obvious bad treatment within that history. I'm so tired of seeing sambas as a trend, and I get it in that it does feel like everyone and their moms wears sambas. I love them on people. Like, I actually love seeing them on other people, all the different colors. I think they're very fun. It's a great way of having comfortable shoes, but in a like funky way, again, with the different colors. I don't like love the style for me, but I also don't love sneakers. And actually, I have been wanting to find some like good sneakers because I was still stuck in like only wearing white chunky dad sneakers, and I love them. I have some like Skechers and they're great and they're super comfy, but I've been needing like another pair of sneakers because I can't always wear my Doc Martens to like Disneyland. As comfortable as my Doc Martens are, and I think they're great, I need another like sneaker shoe that's a little bit more comfortable. And I have just like had no idea like what type of sneakers I like, and all I see are sambas. What are your favorite type of sneakers? Please help me out. Please. Fast fashion brands doing take back programs is just BS. Agree. I remember years ago, before I like fully kind of transitioned to more thrifting and sustainable fashion, the H&M take back program recycling service was so popular, and I mean mainly because you got a discount to buy something new. The take back programs, I feel like, is their way to be like, we're taking responsibility. You can feel better about buying new stuff. Somebody had put a tracker in one of the recycling services, their take back program, and it showed that it did not get recycled like they said that it does. I think if there was transparency, it would show the same thing for any other take back program. It's like, it could be a good thing. it could be a good thing. But also fast fashion can never be fully sustainable and ethical. Like, it's just the business model. The last fashion unpopular opinion is one of my own as well. I don't think there's anything wrong with people asking where things are from. There's been a lot of conversation in regards to gatekeeping fashion. Obviously, I have seen some extreme examples of viewers specifically on TikTok. I don't think it really happens on YouTube. Maybe it's because like there's more time for, say, even like in a thrift haul, you're reading the tag, the person knows the brand now, or you are linking the stuff that you can, but on TikTok you can't do that. And people get brutal. They feel like you have just killed their firstborn because you will not tell them the brand of the skirt that you are wearing. I think when people don't read the comments and just, you can see like that person asked where that skirt was from and literally said,
"Don't gatekeep," or "Why are you gatekeeping? Why aren't you answering me?"
When the creator literally replied to a comment asking where it was from politely, like hours before. Like, take the time, do the work of looking at the comments at least. There is, what's it called? Like, you go on Googling, like you take a photo of it and it'll show you, a lot of times it'll show you the item, like the name of the item, or even like Depop listings, the fast fashion listings, that kind of thing on Pinterest. They have their own. I find that in most cases, they just like pop up with Shein stuff. I understand maybe wanting to know the exact brand, especially with secondhand fashion. If you are really, really liking that sweater and maybe that fit is really good, that person has, you know, the same build as you. And so like knowing the sizing, you can then look on Depop for, having that information can be helpful. I think it's the rage that people have with it, which is why it's kind of gone to the opposite end, where it's like, I don't owe you anything to tell you where every single item is from. Like, I totally get the both sides when it's asked politely and the person doesn't get mad at you for like maybe just taking some time. Because if you're not home and you thrifted that item and you don't know what the brand is, like you have to find the item in your closet, you have to get home, like maybe you forget. That does happen to me. It's funny because so many people are like, I am sick of being sold something. Like every single TikTok is someone trying to sell me stuff. And then the ones where they aren't trying to sell you anything, they're just wearing an outfit and you are like rage commenting that they are gatekeeping purposely the name brand of probably the Doc Marten boots that they are wearing. Like, that's, let's just take a step back. There is another part of this conversation that I've seen where it's like, oh, if you don't tell someone where that piece is from or like the brand, then that item won't, you know, rise and fall super quickly in regards to, you know, a micro trend. A perfect example is the Greenhouse's Sunny dress, or even those like platform Uggs where then everyone is wearing them and then nobody wants them because everyone is wearing them, and how it just causes this fatigue of seeing an item and it being just thrown away versus finding something that's similar. Which I will say, for me, looking on Pinterest, I try to find, a lot of times because I can't find the piece, but I try to find similar-ish pieces, or even whenever I do thrifting fashion trend type of videos, I'm not looking for a carbon copy. I'm looking for something that's different and unique and will, in turn, in most cases, when that trend dies, it won't feel as like outdated. At the end of the day, if somebody really wants that item, like they're gonna find that item. I try to look at it in a positive way, and obviously with me buying secondhand, like that wouldn't necessarily probably happen in the same way of like the House's Sunny dress, because most of the items that I own you can only find secondhand, so I just feel like it can be helpful. Alrighty, thank you all so much for watching. Of course, let me know your thoughts right down below on everything that I talked about. Be respectful. If you would like to see my face again, then make sure to subscribe right down below and hit that little bell to be notified every time I make a new video. And also don't forget to follow me on Instagram, which is AlexSunshine83. I will see you in my next video, and I hope you have a super sunny day. Bye!